How's my hair, you guys? How's my hair? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Originally, I was not going to do this video, but also we changed plans and we were originally going to do American Auto Wire harness and all that good stuff, but between time and money, we figured we save some of both, right? And hopefully help you guys out because I know you guys are going to probably be wanting to reuse your old harness. And let me show you what I do. So I actually started lacing this stuff already, and I realized that I'm not even showing you guys what I am doing. So I figured I'd show you what's going on. Not to mention, this harness is in really good shape. If it was pretty bad, I'd probably just do a whole new one. But we might as well reuse it. And like I said, between time and money, trying to make the show and everything else like that, and if you guys plan on reusing your old factory harness, so this is the bulkhead connector right here from the firewall side on the engine bay. So on the engine bay side, you're really not going to need a whole lot that you basically had from the factory. You're definitely going to want to keep all the wires for your headlights, right? So you're going to have a dark green, light blue, a light green, and another light blue, and then a brown and a dark brown. And then you're going to have this wire that's white and brown. So the white and brown wire is actually for your stop lamp switch or your proportioning valve. So we're going to go ahead and keep that one there. So we're going to keep that one. Probably going to end up shortening it up a little bit because we're relocating that. Again, keep all those wires for sure. You're going to need all that. And then you're going to have obviously your 3 connectors for your windshield wiper motor. Keep that. But on this side, so also we don't have right now the pigtail for the rear tail lights. You're going to keep all that. So that's not even a question. But on this side, this is where it basically gets a little messy and you're going to end up removing some stuff. Now, I've already started removing them, but like I said, I had to stop myself that I can show you what's going on. So, and I also cleaned up the wires a little bit so you can kind of see the colors a little bit better. So this guy here, this is your power. And if you can see, kind of goes back and it also ties into a bunch of other things, including your alternator plug and the actual starter as well for the power for the starter. So these 2 wires, you're going to have a dark red and then like this dark brown. I don't even know. I think it's dark brown. So technically you could end up removing those. You can remove those out of the equation because we're not going to need those. So what these are essentially, these are basically power input. These are basically power input. Input meaning coming in, correct? And then feeding the block. So these are not power output. So just keep that in mind. So what we're going to do is remove that because we don't need any power going into here from this particular area because we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to add a power distribution center on the inside of the car, or I should say the cab. And so we don't need that. Now, also starter power, we're going to relocate that as well because, again, we're going to have our battery mounted in the back. So the battery's not going to be up front, so we don't need that. So this is essentially power coming in. The other one that's also power coming in, and again, these are really to feed your ignition switch, your fuse block, is this guy right here. This is also came off the alternator here. This one is the one that goes to the top of the alternator. This red one here, you can also remove as well. So we're going to remove that one for sure. And this other one here, this is the purple wire. You guys would probably know it. Most GM cars are all the same. This big, thick purple wire is your starter power, or I should say your starter wire that actually comes from your park neutral safety switch that actually tells the starter to kick on and actually turn the engine over. So we're actually going to remove this one as well because I've never liked the idea of the starter wire draping across the motor, across the bell housing and all that in the engine bay. So we're not going to use that one as well. So then you're going to have these 2 pink ignition wires. So these 2 basically are ignition power or ignition wire. One of them used to be for like a distributor or something like that. The other one, I do not recall what it was for, but it was definitely, it's ignition. So this is a key on ignition power. So we're actually going to leave these two because we can probably utilize this for like our electric fans and stuff like that. So we're going to leave those in place. And then you're going to have also this brown wire. This is like a oil, actually. Should be the oil pressure gauge. So that's your oil pressure gauge. So we're probably going to remove it, but not sure yet because we can repurpose that wire as long as we repin it on the inside. Same thing with this green one. This green one was for your temperature, coolant temperature sensor. So you can see this one's pretty beat up. Again, these things get pretty beat up over time. You can see that. So we can cut that back also and reuse it as well. But these two wires, we're going to leave in place for now. We can always depin them later. But whatever you do to the bulkhead on the engine firewall side, you have to do it on the inside as well. So what I mean by that, especially for the two power inputs, for this guy and then for this other red one, these two here, you're going to want to do something about that. Let me show you. All right, so this side, this is the actual dash side. Again, you're going to want to depin these. And on this back side, I'll show you a quick example. Like that power wire that was for the alternator slash starter is this red one here. You can follow the pin out just by looking at the bulkhead, and then you can see the other brown wire there as well. But again, this is an input. This is the power that's providing it for the ignition there, and you're still going to want to provide power to that. So if you eliminate it from the engine bay, if you decide not to use it on the engine bay side, what I am going to do is I'm going to pull this wire out and then run this to a power distribution block behind the dash because we still need power there for the ignition itself. And then the other one is these two here, the other two power wires. Again, this is actually feeding a lot of stuff. This is going to feed the fuse block. This is going to feed also the column as well. And you're going to want to, again, pull that out if you're pulling it off the firewall side, and then run these two to a power distribution block or center or something where you have power coming in from the battery. So that's what we're going to do. Now these things are pretty simple, pretty easy to depin. You just take a little flathead screwdriver and then you pry it on the small side here. You can kind of see, I don't know if I could focus there, but you can kind of see where the small side little connector goes to. You take a little flathead screwdriver, you pry it out, and it should look something like this. So I already started removing. This is the starter one. Focus, focus. I can get it to focus, fellas. But you see that little tab? You're just going to basically pinch that tab down, and then you pull it out, and it'll slide right out. These are also pretty much the same, but these have a different style. These have more like a blade style where. Let me see if I can do one. I'll pull one out for you first, so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, went ahead and removed that thing. Now they're a little bit tricky though. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. They can be a little bit difficult because they have a bunch of gunk and stuff like that from the factory, that sealant they put on there. But you can see kind of how they work, and you see how it's open-ended on the top there. And the idea is to basically squish this closed nice and shut. Right now I kind of opened it up so you can see the gap there. Squish it, and you can use a pair of needle nose or a flathead screwdriver, and then you pull on it and it should come right out. So that's kind of what they look like. Again, you just kind of have to squeeze that, make sure it's pretty much all the way shut to allow that little edge to come down enough to come out. So that's pretty much it. But while I was doing that, I decided I might end up keeping one of these power wires for our fan relay so we don't have to run another power there. But what we're going to have to do on the other side, if we decide to do that, whatever one we decide to keep, you're going to end up having to run a power to that. So you still got to remove that one and put power to it. But then you're going to run an actual power from your power block. So that way it's an output. So you got actually power coming out here. So we might end up doing that. And these are pretty simple just because these are the, like I said, they're kind of these connectors here. and they're a lot easier to find. So we might end up just doing that. So hopefully that helps you guys out. I mean, there's not a lot to it. You definitely clean up the engine bay quite a bit, getting rid of a bunch of stuff. Not to mention this guy here. This is the dash side. We're still working on that one. What I'm going to do is make you guys a video for the Dakota Digital install on how to utilize basically the wires from the factory harness. And we'll do that later in a different video. Let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comments below. Let me know if that's something you definitely want to see. So one last thing I want to add, fellas, is when you do remove wires from these bulkheads, you're going to want to reseal that area right there. If you can try to scrape some of the original off as much as possible, well, you're definitely going to want to use a silicone, something that's watertight, and that way you don't have any corrosion coming in from the elements into the fuse block. So definitely seal that up if you decide to pull some of these wires out. Well, you guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. I wanted to keep it short and sweet, not to confuse anybody, because, man, wiring can definitely be a pain in the butt. Hopefully this information helps you guys out. We're going to continue on the project and hopefully try to get it done. But yeah, fingers crossed. But do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, the like button, and hit the bell for notifications. And you guys already know, stay wrenching.